So, dear student, today we are going to learn the limitation of the Ohm's law. According to the Ohm's law, the potential difference across a conductor is proportional to the current flowing in the conductor. Means if the potential difference increases, then the current will increase, and if the potential difference decreases, then the current will decrease. But this proportionality between these two physical quantity is dependent heavily on the temperature. Means if the temperature of the conductor is going to be changed, this linear relationship does not exist. Okay, so today we are going to learn with the help of graphs that how the potential varies, how the potential difference varies with the temperature. Okay, now as you can see, for the first graph here I have taken on the x-axis the value of current, and on the y-axis I have taken the potential difference. Okay, now this is the linear region. This is the linear region up to which the potential difference is directly proportional to the current flowing in the conductor. Okay, now what we are doing, as you know, that if we increase the value of current, if we increase the value of potential difference, the current will increase, and hence the temperature of the conductor will also increase, because you know the Joule's law of heating, H equal to IR square RT. According to that law, if we are going to flow the current in a conductor, then the temperature of the conductor also increase. Now this is the linear region up to which the current show the deviation. You can see a curve like this structure. The potential difference and current show the deviation from its linear relationship. So there are certain set of conductors called as ohmic conductor. They follow the linear relationship up to this region, and up to there is region exist in which this ohmic conductor does not behave as a ohmic, or they will not follow the linear relationship of V proportional to I. Okay, so this is the first graph. Okay, now we move on to our next graph. That is the second graph. Actually this type of graph is drawn for a diode, okay, in particular the semiconductor we are seeing. So for a diode that we will learn this thing more in the coming up chapter. Now here in the semiconductors we will learn this. So here, as you can see, in the diode, if you increase the potential difference, okay, the current will increase, and this is the relationship. Okay, this is a very non-uniform relationship. But what happens if you reverse the polarity of the potential difference? Okay, suppose you increase the potential difference in one direction, so corresponding to each and every value of potential difference, you will get the particular value of current. Now if you reverse the polarity of the conductor, or you can say if you change the plates of a conductor, if you reverse the polarity, then for keeping the magnitude fixed, means suppose for a 2 volt we are getting the 2 ampere on this graph. Okay, now if you reverse the conductor, that reverse the polarity of the conductor, keeping the magnitude fixed, that means for 2 volt you are not getting the 2 ampere current. That is the meaning. On reversing or changing the direction of the current or potential difference, we will not get the same value. Okay, so here this type of relationship is shown by the various diodes or the semiconductor. Okay, now this is the third graph. In which this is a linear region. This A to B is a linear region. This B to C is a non-linear region, and the C to D is a negative region. What happened here? The value of current is increasing up to this point, and up to the beyond the point C, the value of current is decreasing. That is why it is called as non-linear region, or you can say the negative region. That is why this CD portion is called as a negative region. Now what happened? This graph shows us that. Firstly I will explain. Okay, now as you can see, if we are going to increase the value of potential difference, the conductor show the linear relationship up to AB part. Okay, now as soon as the potential difference is increasing, the current is increasing, the temperature of the conductor is being increased. So here it is showing the non-linear relationship. But after that, in the part CD, the current of the conductor is going to be decreased. So that is called the negative region. Now you can see there is the two value of potential difference. There is the two value V1 and V2. For that two values, we are getting the same current. Suppose this is the I1. And what the relationship tell? That for a particular value of potential difference, you will get the unique value of current. Means for one value of potential difference, we are getting a unique for only one value of potential difference. But in this graph, we are seeing that for a two value of potential difference, we are getting only one. Means we should what should have done? For V1 we had get the I1. Suppose we are getting the I1. For V2 it must be I2. It must be I2. But this graph shows that for a two value of potential difference, we are getting the same value of current. Okay, so this shows us for this we conclude that the value of potential difference is not unique. Value of potential difference, according to this relationship, for a higher temperature, the value of potential difference and the current is not unique. Unique means for a one value of potential difference, we should have get the one value of current. But here we are getting the two value we are getting the one only same current for the two value of potential difference V1 and V2. So here the potential difference is not unique for the current. Okay, so this is the Ohm's law. Now in this law we have understand this is the limitations of the Ohm's law, and here we need to understand that this relationship is heavily dependent on the temperature of the conductor. If the temperature of the conductor is going to be increased, then surely the conductor deviates from its linear relationship. And there is a variety of conductor. There are insulator, there are conductor, semiconductor. Okay, insulator is not a conductor. There are semiconductors. There are a variety of materials which exhibits a different phenomena for the Ohm's law. Okay, now we are going to learn our next topic, that is the dependence of the resistivity on a temperature. The dependence on the resistivity of temperature. Okay, so resistivity and temperature. Resistivity and temperature. Now, the relationship between the resistivity and temperature is rho equal to inverse of 1 upon sigma 1 upon conductivity equal to m upon n e square tau. Okay, this is the mathematical relationship we have arrived. Okay, we have derived. So resistivity is dependent on the mass of the or you can say elements, okay, sorry, electrons, dependent on the number density, number of electrons per unit volume, dependent on the charge of the charged particles, and dependent on the average relaxation time. So we can say that resistivity of the conductors or semiconductors, depend on the mass of electron. Resistivity is directly proportional to the mass of electron. Resistivity is inversely proportional to the number density, number of electrons per unit volume. Resistivity is inversely proportional to the E square, that is the charge of electron, and resistivity is inversely proportional to the average relaxation time. Relaxation time is the average time between the two successive collision of the electron with the ions or atoms. Okay, now what happened? The charge of the electron is not going to be changed. Okay, it remain constant, and the mass of the electron is not going to be changed. It remain constant. So these two quantity are constant. So finally we can say resistivity of conductor is dependent on the number density and dependent on the average relaxation time. And for the conductors, okay, for the conductors, this number density is also constant. For it is not constant for semiconductors. For conductors, this number density is also constant. So we can write here for conductors, n equal to constant. So the resistivity of conductor is a function of relaxation time. This is for conductors, and semiconductors resistivity depend on this number density, number of electron per unit volume. So resistivity is inversely proportional to n, and resistivity is inversely proportional to tau. Now why I am explaining this, because we need to understand the dependence of temperature, okay, or the dependence of resistivity on temperature. Okay, now what we see that the resistivity of the metallic conductor is 10 raised to power minus 8 ohm meter, okay, and resistivity of the insulator is 10 raised to power 18 times greater than the conductors, okay, and resistivity of the semiconductor lies between the resistivity of conductor as an insulator. Okay, so now we need to understand the dependence of temperature on resistivity. Okay, but in this formula there is no term of temperature, but we consider, I am explaining you. Now as you can see, the resistivity depends on the two factors, the number density, number of electrons per unit volume, and the average relaxation time. Okay, now if so, see for the conductors, the number density, number of electrons per unit volume remains constant. So resistivity of a conductor is a function of average relaxation time. Now suppose if you increase a temperature of a conductor, what will happen? The collision of the electron will more frequent, it will more random, okay, it will take less time, okay, because whenever you increase the temperature, there is a more number of collision, okay, because the electron will go with a higher energy. Okay, so we can say that if we increase the temperature, the relaxation time will decrease. If we increase the temperature of a metallic conductor or conductor, simply if we increase the temperature, sorry, this is the relaxation time, the number of frequent collision will increase. As a result, the average relaxation time will decrease. If the average relaxation time will decrease, then we can say, if the average relaxation time decrease, then the resistivity of conductor will increase. And this situation, on increasing temperature, the resistivity of a conductor increases. On increasing temperature, the resistivity of a conductor increases. Why? Because the relaxation time of the conductor decreases. That's why the resistivity of the conductor increases. Okay, now this is for the conductors. Now we have to understand the same thing for the semiconductors also. Okay, for semiconductors, so I am writing here for semiconductors. You know that semiconductors are widely used in the electronic gadgets, what we are using, the computers and all that. These are possibly with the help of these semiconductors. Okay, so we have to understand the relationship. Now what happened in the semiconductors, as we know, the resistivity is inversely proportional to n, and resistivity is inversely proportional to the average relaxation time. Now what happened if you increase because semiconductor behave in a very different way. The behavior of semiconductor is very different. Normally it acts as an insulator, but if you increase the temperature, it behaves as a conductor. That is the difference. Of behavior of the semiconductor. Now if you increase the temperature of a semiconductor, what happened? Normally it behaves as a non-conductor, insulator, but if you increase the temperature, it behaves as a conductor. That means it is releasing electrons. Okay, as we increase the temperature, the number of electrons per unit volume in the semiconductor increases. That is why it behaves as a conductor. Okay, so whenever you increase the temperature, don't be confused with it. Whenever you increase the temperature, the number density of the semiconductor increases, or you can say the number of electrons per unit volume in a semiconductor increases. Now two things are happening: number of electrons are increasing, and what about the relaxation time? Because relaxation time can be defined as the average time between the two successive collision of the electron. Okay, but what happened? Suppose in the conductor, what happened? Suppose this is the average relaxation time. In conductor, what happens? As we increase the temperature, this relaxation time decreases. So we can write here this relaxation time decreases. Why? Because the number density or number of electrons per unit volume of a conductor is constant. But imagine a situation where if you increase the temperature, this number of electrons per unit volume also increases. So what happened? They neutralize the average relaxation, or you can say they neutralize the decrease of average relaxation time. They neutralize a decrease of average relaxation time. That means that if number density, number of electrons per unit volume increases with the increase in temperature, they nullify the effect of the temperature for relaxation time, or relaxation times for a semiconductor with the increase of temperature remains constant. Why it remains constant? Because if the number of electrons are increasing, so they will compensate, they will neutralize the decrease of relaxation time. So for a semiconductor, we can say the relaxation time remains constant. The relaxation time remains constant. So this will remain constant. This will remain constant. So for a semiconductor, the resistivity is a function of, is inversely proportional to the number density. Is inversely proportional to the number density. So if a number density, now what we are having? We are increasing the temperature, the number density increases. The number density or the number of electrons per unit volume increases, and they are inversely proportional. So rho will decrease. Rho will decrease, or resistivity of decrease. So what the conclusion we have? With the increase of temperature, with the resistivity of semiconductor decreases. With the increase of temperature, the resistivity of semiconductor decreases. And what about the conductors? With the increase of temperature, the resistivity of conductor will increase. Okay, so this is the two things we have learned on the light of this mathematical equation, that rho equal to m upon n e squared tau. So that is the dependence of the resistivity or resistance on the temperature of a material. Okay, so I hope you understand. Please learn it properly, and if you have any doubt, you can share with me. Okay, so learn properly, students.